Right, friends. Welcome back to PKSR classes. Friends, now this particular series is going to be November 2019 question paper. Okay. I hope all of you guys are doing really fine. So this I thought that this is a very important question paper. Why? Because the questions, the way it has been asked was pretty damn good. And as you know, the first question was asked from international case study. I mean, in the sense, international exams where the case study has been eventually picked up. So I thought that this will be quite a bit an interesting question paper, and that's obviously it's a good question paper. To be very honest, it's neither too difficult nor too easy. It was a balanced paper. So therefore, let's solve this paper. As I told you, when it comes to the new syllabus SCNP, it's all about solving as many case studies and case scenarios as possible. Because anyway, when it comes to problems, it is not much. So let's concentrate on the same. So you guys are ready? Chalo. Let's go on with question number one. So have a look into the question over here. So Cure Hospital is running under private public partnership model, providing treatment for non-communicable diseases. ABCO Hospitals Limited is a private partner which runs a chain of hospitals on a profit basis in the major cities in India. So this is a profit-oriented hospital, ABCO. The public partner is the state government. Okay. And this Cure Hospital is a not-for-profit hospital. So that's one thing that we need to be clear. And private partner is to invest in upgrading and equipping the facility and responsible for operational management and service delivery. Government to provide physical space and other infrastructure in as is varies condition, which means whatever the situations that's going on right now. So they'll provide you the way it is, and they will provide support facilities and hospital amenities as well. Private partner assumes the entire responsibility for a full range of investment operation and maintenance functions. Private partner has the authority to make daily management decisions. Got it? So I hope by going through these paragraphs, I hope you guys are pretty clear with respect to the difference between what the government is going to do and what the company is going to do. Right? The ABCO hospitals as well as the state government. Anyway, the hospital is funded to a great extent by the state government, and a fixed level of funding is received from the government each year out of the state budgetary allocation. It is up to the hospital to allocate this fund to different areas such as doctors and other staff salaries, medicines, and all other costs required to run a hospital. Chalo. So, what are the objectives of this Cure Hospital? First one, to give prompt access to high quality medical treatment for patients. Fantastic. These objectives are very important. And only then, when we go through the remaining part of the question, we'll understand whether it has been met or not. That's really important in any question. So just go, you just run all these thoughts in your mind when you're reading the question. That makes your answer a lot bit easier. Right. Anyway, so the objectives of Cure Hospital are to give prompt access to high quality medical treatment for patients. Okay, you want to give good medical treatment to the patients, to provide free treatment to poor patients in line with the government policy of inclusive development. Inclusive development means each and everybody who is in the society in the country has to get what developed. Financial inclusion, you would have heard the time. What do you mean by financial inclusion? The financial sector is there, which means in layman terms, I can say the banking sector and all that. Layman terms, don't get me wrong in that. So I'm trying to keep it very simple. And you have seen so many this below poverty line and below middle class and poor people, they're not having any sort of bank accounts and all that. That's why the government has recently introduced the Jandan yojana and all that. So the intention is to bring those who are outside the financial sector, outside the banking sector, into the financial sector. You got the point? So including everybody, that's what we call it as financial inclusion. You got the point? Anyway, so here the topic, the keyword here is inclusive development. Always the keywords are very important, which means even the poor should get the treatment of good treatment, good quality treatment, and then eventually that will lead to his development. Next, to provide value for money for the taxpayer measured by three E's: framework for economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. The moment you see these three E's, try to recollect the concept which I've taught you. Where you will find these three E's, if you see, we have already seen this beach cleaning operations question. You remember that? There in that beach cleaning, what is that? So we wanted to clean, we wanted to know whether the beach cleaning operations are really efficient or not. Correct? You guys remember that? Yeah. So which means it was a performance measurement in a not for profit sector, correct? So the moment you see these words, economy, efficiency, and effectiveness, immediately you got to come to a conclusion that, okay, fine, this case study is dependent on that particular concept. Which concept? Performance measurement in a not for profit sector. Game over. Got the point? Next. to contribute to medical science by developing innovative ways to deliver treatment to patients. Except select surgeries or services are free for poor patients that are below poverty line. Card holders, 40% beds are reserved for poor patients. Free outpatient department services to poor, right? And CT scan and MRI diagnostics are free for poor patients. Subsidized rates for others. Okay, Cure Hospital also runs a generic medicine shop inside the hospital premises, which sells medicines to all patients at a discounting ranging from 40% to 56%. The only shop of this kind in this city. Okay, that's great. So as you can see, except select surgeries, all services are free for poor patients who are BPL, and that card is compulsory. You need to hold the card. The same thing is happening in so many states right now. You have health cards and all that, and 40% beds are reserved for poor patients. And a free outpatient department is also, that services is also given to the poor patients, whereas CT and MRI diagnostics are also free, whereas it is subsidized for others, right? Because obviously it's a government run organization, I mean, in partnership. Next, WHO has agreed to provide financial and technical support to the neonatal care unit. The hospital enabled it to obtain 5 accreditation certificates from various leading authorities on different aspects of hospital management. Great. What else? The feedback is taken from each inpatient about the quality of service provided by the hospital, and the satisfaction level is taken in 1 to 10 point scale, 1 being the least satisfied, and 10 represents totally satisfied. In a recent meeting of the management committee of the hospital, discussions were held about inadequate performance measurement systems in place to assess whether the hospital is achieving its objectives, and that insufficient attention is given to the importance of non financial performance indicators. That's good. A four-member team consisting of a management expert and 3 senior doctors was created to give their advice in these aspects. Okay, what else? The four-member team met with doctors, staff, and other stakeholders at length and breadth. Some of the conversations were as below. So, Dr. A, what does he think? I think the hospital always deliver value for money. We have always achieved our total financial budgets. Okay, so he's pretty much positive about what's going on. Dr. B, we work here much longer hours than doctors in other hospitals, often without being paid for working overtime. So, which means he's little bit not satisfied. All he wants is pay for the overtime work. Right. Next, Dr. C. There is not enough government and private partner funding to recruit more doctors and paramedic staff. Okay, so B and C points are connected here because B says that we are working overtime, and C says that because we don't have enough funding so that we can recruit more doctors, therefore the existing doctors has to work overtime. Now, the moment you're reading these points, immediately something should come to your mind. Okay, maybe this overtime is affecting the efficiency of the doctors. Maybe because of that, see, it's just a chance, right? We don't know whether it's going to happen or not. Just a thought, just a thought. These are all the thoughts that you have to practice. Okay, with this only, the in reality in the examination, if at all a new case study or case scenario comes, you'll be in a position to solve it. Okay, just a thought process. Okay, maybe because they are working overtime, and maybe, see, not only working overtime, they are working overtime for free. They're not getting compensated for the same. So because of these two, what do you call, dissatisfaction, probably they're not showing their full efficiency. They're not able to, even if they want to, because of the tiredness and fatigueness and all that. And maybe as a result, maybe they're not, able to give the real treatment that they should have given otherwise. And as a result, maybe the patients are not getting the better treatment, and as a result, maybe they are not recovering that well. And maybe because of that, the objective of the hospital are not being met. You see that? So when you're reading the question itself in the examination hall, you got to think all these things. So it should be running like a background music in your mind. Okay, fine. This, okay, because of this might happen. Because of this might happen. So that linkage in the thought process, the free flow of thought process is what you have to practice. You got the point, guys? Anyway, right. Sorry for the disturbance. Now let's move on to the next one. So, Dr. D, number of outpatients has increased considerably. Earlier, an outpatient had to wait for an average period of 2 hours 20 minutes, and now the same has increased to 3 hours. Senior Dr. K, I do not know how much time we spend developing innovative ways to deliver treatment to patients, though, as most of the performance data we doctors receive relates to financial targets. Okay, so Dr. D, he says the outpatients has been increasing considerably. Earlier, an outpatient has to wait for an average of 2 hours 20 minutes, whereas now it has got increased to 3 hours. Okay, what else? Inpatient H, incompetent paramedic staff, poor quality of food, and bed linen. So he's complaining a lot. Then staff M, management undermines our role in running the hospital. They're not satisfied because their roles are not getting recognized. Okay, recent performance data of the hospital vis-a-vis national average or as follows. You've got Cure Hospital, national average of other PPPP run hospitals, that is private public partnership. Anyway, number of doctors you've got in comparison of Cure Hospital with others, average doctor salaries per month including overtime. Okay, this is inclusive of overtime because anyway you're not paying anything for overtime, right? Average doctor salaries including overtime as per budget. Okay, number of inpatients treated, average satisfaction rating of inpatients. So all this data is given. What else? Yeah, number of patients readmitted for the treatment of the same ailment within a short period of time after discharge from the hospital. Pretty bad. Okay, as you can see, it's very high, 627, which means the treatment is not good. This we have already thought when we were reading the question, correct? So try to link it. Average staff satisfaction rating, 0% represents totally dissatisfied and 100% represents totally satisfied. Okay, number of outpatients treated, that is also there. So what else? Explain why non-financial performance indicators are particularly important to measure the performance of not-for-profit organizations such as Cure Hospitals. 4 marks. Evaluate whether Cure Hospital is delivering value for money for each of the components of the value for money framework. And the CEO of the hospital intends to introduce a nominal fee for outpatient treatment given to poor patients. Okay, so right now it is free. Now he's trying to make it nominal and remove subsidized rate of CT scan and MRI diagnostics for other patients in order to achieve its objectives in a better way. You have to evaluate the proposal of the CEO. That is for another 4 marks. So that's the question. Okay, as usual, you got the question. So what do you guys need to do? Read it. How many times? 3 times before we start solving. Question number one is always compulsory, guys. So very important. Okay. So read the question, guys. We'll start. Read the question, Nana. See, take your own time, read it with concentration, guys. Don't undermine reading of the question because that gives you more than 50% probability of solving the question in a right way. You got it? So never undermine reading the question. Okay. Spend enough time, we'll get to the solution. We'll get to the power notes. Okay, done with your reading, guys? Right. Okay, chalo. So at least you should have read two times, twice. If you're done with it, we'll go with the answer. I'll just wait for another minute. Some people are saying that this still has to read. So I'll just wait. Just one more minute. Done with the reading, guys? Chalo. So, what's the first part of the question? Explain why the non financial performance indicators are particularly important to measure the performance of not for profit organizations such as cure hospitals. Okay, so let's go with the power notes, guys. Right? So, you got November 2019 question paper, and let's start with first problem, that is case study, obviously. So, why non financial performance indicators are important? Okay, that's the question. So you have read the question already. So especially he's asking you why it is particularly important when you want to measure not-for-profit organizations. What is the logic behind that? Let's try to understand. Now look at the answer. First of all, copy paste the first, second, third, and fourth paras from the question with objectives. Because when I try to answer that why this non-financial performance indicators are really important, then first I have to answer, okay, this is the company, this is what the company is doing. It's a cure hospital, it has got public-private partnership, and the money is being funded by the state government. Therefore, these are all the objectives, and therefore, because of these objectives, because of nature of the hospital, because of so and so reason, it becomes apparent that non-financial performance indicators are really important to measure the performance, because ultimately we need to know whether the health treatment for the ill health has been really provided well or not. Are you able to understand? So unless you write what is the objective of the organization, what is that they are doing, we cannot answer the second part of the question. So that's why initially what we have to do is that we need to say, okay, this is the organization, this is what their objective is, and therefore it is important to measure these non-financial performance non-financial performance indicators, and therefore it has to be done this way. You understand the point? That's why it started this way. So we started with the copy paste the first, second, third, fourth paras from the question with objectives, that is 15 to 20 lines, as you can see here. So what are the first, second, third, and fourth paras, guys? It starts from here. So you can just write Cure Hospital is running under public private partnership model, PPP model, okay, providing treatment for non-communicable diseases. And ABCO Hospitals Limited is a private partner which runs a chain of hospitals on profit basis in the major cities in India. The public partner is the state government, and Cure Hospital is a not-for-profit, blah 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 blah. Till where? Till the Cure Hospital's objectives 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where you have to stop. To contribute to medical science by developing innovative ways to deliver treatment to patients. That's where you have to stop. So now that we have communicated, okay, this is what the hospital is, this is their objective. Their objective is to provide, sorry for that, their objective is to give prompt access to high quality medical treatment. Their objective is to provide free treatment to poor patients in line with the government policy of inclusive development. Their objective is to provide value for money for the taxpayer measured by 3 E's: economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. And also their objective is to contribute to medical science by developing innovative ways to deliver treatment to patients. Got the point? So this we will write as the first part of our answer. I hope this is clear. So this is the first part of the question. See, always we got to be smart enough when we are attempting these case studies, because 50% of the answers of a case study will be from the question itself. We just need to be smart enough to what pick those things. You got the point, guys? Anyway, right, friends. So the point here is when we try to answer, So it's obvious that a bit of answer will come from the question. So always please try to understand that is the strategy that we always follow, okay? Because it's near to impossible to by heart the answer the way it has been given by ICA, and then like that you can by heart the same for 50, 60, 70 case studies and then try to reproduce that in the examination hall. It's not possible, Nana. And that too, suddenly if a new case study comes, just like what happened in November 2019, it's a new case study, the first one which we are seeing right now. Nowhere it's covered in your study mental, nowhere it's covered in your RTPs, MTPs, nothing doing. Then how to solve? That's the bigger question. You got the point. So it can be picked up from any book, Colin Drury or Horngren. It can be any book, Nana. So we cannot practically study each and every book. We cannot practically solve each and every case study. It can be picked up anywhere. ACCA, SEMA UK. There are so many international courses where you have the entire top level exams or completely 100 marks for case study. Unlike for us, we are getting around 50 to 60 marks if you put case study and case study scenarios together. Whereas these international courses, they've got 100 marks for case studies, and there will be three questions generally, 25 marks, 25 marks, and 50 marks, and all the questions are case studies. Now, if you look at their practice manual, just like how we used to have in the old syllabus, 70, 80 case studies is what they practice. So all those things, if at all we want to practice besides what is there in our material, then easily it will go 400 hours, 500 hours, you know. So 400 hours of study for the examination, it doesn't work that way. You got the point. So 80%, 70 to 80% of the questions straight away it comes from the study mental and ICS also only. To that extent, if we are perfect, it's fine. At the same time, learn the concepts in such a way that if at all new case study comes, I may not be writing perfect answer, but then at least I can write almost perfect answer, you know, decent answer to get half the marks. That's more than enough for me. Got the point. Anyway, chalo. So first we have written, copy paste the first, second, third, and fourth paras from the question. What is that? I've already shown you. After that, due to the objective of public service, that we easily know because it's a PPP based model, and we know that obviously the objective is of what? Public service. Measuring non-financial performance indicators are important because of the following reasons. What are those reasons? First one, benefits cannot be quantified. What do you mean by that? Benefits may accrue over long term. Means measurement of utilization of funds and expenditure. Multiple objectives. These are all the four reasons why, because of the objective of public service, measuring non-financial performance indicators are important. Sir, I did not understand that really. Don't worry. One by one, we're gonna see in detail. Got the point? So right now, just remember what these are. You can ask me, sir, is it that important, sir? Yes, it is important because you are learning an adjustment from this case study. Hereafter, any other case study in future, a new question where there will be a not for profit organization and then he will ask you to measure its performance. There you can write a sentence saying that to measure the performance of not for profit organization, it's really important, you know, to consider non financial performance indicators as well because of the following reasons. You understand the point? And that is where these points kick in, and these points are universal in nature. So let me call it as universal points, which means because if at all any case study in future comes with a similar sort of requirement, you're gonna write the same 4 points. Got the point? Anyway, chalo. So first one is benefits cannot be quantified. Keep that in mind. What is that? We'll discuss. Benefits cannot be quantified. Just keep that in mind. Benefits accrue over long term. Measurement of utilization of funds and expenditure. Multiple objectives apart from that. Okay, let's start with the first one. What is the first one? Benefits cannot be quantified. So what do you mean by that? You have the power notes over here. Let's move on. It provides services to economically weaker sections of the society. Correct? This point is very clear from the question. So from the question only, we have seen that the majority of the services are being provided to what? BPL, below poverty lines. For them, except for some crucial surgeries, everything is free. Correct? And even the scans, MRI scan and all that is free, and even the medicines, everything else is free. Got the point? All right, there's no doubt in that. Fantastic. Next, so this particular cure hospital, which is a PPP model, provides services to economically weaker sections of the society, and therefore due to political, legal, and social reasons. Keywords. KW means keywords. Due to political, legal, and social reasons, Cure Hospital cannot be shut down merely for not being economically viable. And because they are not for profit organization, how can you shut a not for profit organization based on a reason that it is not profitable? Of course, you at least need break even to run it. Otherwise, you can't run it. That's a different ball game. If even there is a situation where the funds that you're getting from the government is not sufficient for you to run the hospital, still you try to get some sort of loans or try to increase pressure on the government to get the funding because of the known political, legal, and social reasons, and then somehow try to run the organization. So it's not a profit, or if it is a profit organization, then probably this argument would have been valid, that yeah, I'm not getting requisite profits, it's not economically viable, therefore I want to shut it down. It sounds logical. But then when it comes to an organization which is not for profit, and then if you say that it's not economically viable and therefore I want to shut it down, it doesn't work that way. It sounds really stupid. You got the point? So therefore, this particular cure hospital provides services to economically weaker sections of the society, and therefore, due to political, legal, and social reasons, keywords political, legal, and social reasons. I hope you have basic idea of what these names are. Basic English names, right? I mean, English terms. So, Cure Hospital cannot be shut down merely for not being economically viable because it's a not for profit organization. Got it? Next. Now, look at the continuation from here. Let's come to the continuation now. Therefore, financial measures are less relevant because it's a not for profit organization, because you cannot shut it down saying citing a reason that it is not economically viable, it is not profitable, because of political, legal, and social, which I've already explained. Because of these reasons, even though you don't have sufficient numbers, citing a reason that I don't have sufficient numbers, that is profit, I cannot shut it down, in that case, why are you worrying about numbers? Which means numbers become less important. Are you able to understand? See, even if it is loss, still you have to run the organization. Means that numbers becomes less important, which means financial measures becomes less important, which means non-financial measures becomes more important. Because the numbers are not important means the non-numbers are important. It's as simple as that. So therefore, financial measures are less relevant or important, and non-financial measures are more relevant. For example, benefit of saving life cannot be quantified in financial terms. Objective of your hospital is what? To provide very good treatment to the weaker sections of the society. That is BPL, correct? Which has been given in the question also. That was the first objective, to give prompt access to high quality medical treatment for patients, correct? Now, going by that logic, how would we know whether we have provided that sort of a good treatment to all those economically weaker sections of the society? Only by going for non-financial measures. Means what? You have saved a life. Saving a life, can you quantify in terms of numbers? Not possible. So therefore, because of these reasons, because the benefits cannot be quantified, because if you save a life cannot be converted into numbers, therefore, when it comes to an organization which is basically formed based on the logic called not for profit organization, non-financial performance measurement systems are more important than financial measurement systems, that is numbers. Got it? So qualitative factors are more important than quantitative factors because of these reasons. I hope now it makes a lot of sense, right? Moving on to the second one. What is second one? Benefits may accrue over long term. What do you mean by that? See, expenditure incurred in 1 year may yield benefits for several years, correct? For example, investment in ICU, intensive care unit, more intensive care unit, so that more emergencies you can treat without wasting any time, and at the same time more surgeries you can perform without postponing the surgeries when there is a requirement of performing the surgery in a requisite time. You got the point? So if you try to invest in say for example uh, some sort of intensive care unit, some sort of modern medical equipment and all that stuff, if at all, now listen carefully, if at all suppose your performance measurement system is based on financial measures, that is numbers, then if you're measured based on return on investment or profit, then if at all you need to make a sudden investment, then all of a sudden your ROI will drop down, because ROI means what? Return divided by investment. If you want to invest in ICU in 1 year, all the benefit you are not going to get in this year only. Na? It's going to be spread over several years. But then investment will be for this year when you're trying to calculate ROI. And then the denominator will be bulging out. And then your numerator profit remains same only. And the profit divided by denominator will give you percentage less, lesser percentage. When you have a lesser percentage, then if you're if you're measuring the performance based on numbers, then I know that if they are measuring my performance based on numbers, then my numbers won't look that good because my denominator has bulged out because of my investment in ICU, and my numerator profits remains only same, and as a result my ROA gets reduced. So maybe I may not get bonus if at all my performance is dependent on this ROA, and therefore I will not be taking a decision to what invest in that particular ICU, thereby taking two steps back for my own selfish reasons. Therefore, in these kind of organization which is not for profit, it's better you have non-financial performance measures. If at all there are non-financial performance measures, then I won't step back citing a reason that okay, fine, my ROI is going to get reduced, because the most important part when it comes to not for profit, profit organization, is non-financial performance measurement systems. So if at all you will be encouraged to, in that case, you will be encouraged to invest in ICU. Because of that, the treatment is going to get better, and therefore the ultimate objective of your hospital is being met, and you're not worried about the numbers because your bonus is not linked to the numbers, and therefore you'll be happy to take such a kind of decision. And that's why it's better in this kind of scenario to go for non-financial performance measurement systems. Got it? Next, another thing is this neonatal case unit is also there. I just put some dots, which means you have to copy paste from the question. That who is there, na? Anyway, where is it? Yeah, see here. WHO has agreed to provide financial and technical support to neonatal care unit. This is also like an investment. Okay, so this point you can just copy paste into the answer. So this will also give long term benefits to the hospital. So because every investment won't give all the benefits within the year of its investment itself, and therefore financial performance measurements won't be encouraging such kind of investments, and therefore it's better for us to go for non-financial performance measurement systems, and that is reason number 2, because the benefits will accrue over long term. Got it? Fantastic. Moving on to the next one. 3, measurement of utilization of funds and expenditure. See, since Cure Hospitals provide free services, you can just copy paste the remaining sentence from the question, and it is a not for profit organization. You can just copy all those things. It does not have substantial revenue to earn from patients. Correct? What revenue are you getting? Almost you are providing everything free. 40% of the beds are reserved for the BPL families, which means there also you don't get any money. So obviously you can't get substantial sales. You can't get sales in the sense revenue. So just fixed budget allocation is what you're getting from the state government. Correct? So therefore, when you're not getting too much of funds, when you're not getting too much of money, in that case, each and every rupee that you spend becomes very important. It has to be spent for the right purpose without any sort of wastage. So therefore, the key challenge is to assess whether the spending has been appropriate or not, the spending has been efficient or not, the spending has been economical or not, the spending has been effective or not. Effective means ultimately what purpose you are spending for betterment of the health of the patients. Does the objective has been achieved, which means the health of the patient, has it got better? Yes, then the treatment has been effective. Did you do it at a cheapest cost possible? Yes, then it is efficient and economical as well. Got the point? Anyway, next. So management may resort to rampant spending to meet expenditure targets as well. That is also possible, even though there is no requirement. You understand the point? Because I'm just getting budget from the see. You can ask me how is that they can do something like that. See, understand the behavioral consequences of employees. This is a very important concept when it comes to SCM and PE. Okay, so I'm a management of Cure Hospitals. I've been allocated every year 100 crores, for example, and for my actual running of operations of this particular hospital, I just need 90 crores. Then what will happen, in the next year, they will not give you 100 crores. They'll say that last year only 90 crores, na? So they'll cut down the budget to 90 crores. What if next year you need a requirement of another 5 crores? Then again, it's very difficult to bargain it, especially when state government is giving you the funding. It's very difficult to increase it. So therefore, what the doctors or the management would do is, even if you or me are in that place also, there is a chance that even though there is no requirement, we'll try to increase the expenditure in such a way that we'll always keep that 100 crores with us in next year also. This is what happens even in private companies also, whenever you allot budgets. That's why traditional budgeting has become a failure and people went for zero based budgeting. Because in zero based budgeting, what happens in traditional budgeting, last year if you have spent 100 crores, this year also automatically 100 crores will be given. But in zero based budgeting, again from 0 to 100 crores, you have to explain why I need 100 crores this year also. You understand the point? Anyway, that I've explained you in budgeting chapter. You can check it out over there. But anyway, that's the logic over here. That's why management may resort to rampant spending to meet the expenditure targets. So non-financial measures need to be put in place to help stakeholders scrutinize whether the objectives for which the funds are being given are met. What is the purpose of me giving you money? Is that purpose is being met or not is the biggest question over here, because anyhow the funds are very less. The only source of money that I'm getting is from the government. You got the point? Therefore every rupee spending becomes very important, and that is the concept of measurement of utilization of funds and expenditure. Got it? Okay, last but not least, where's the last one? Multiple objectives. What do you mean by that? You just copy paste the questions from the question. Sorry, copy paste the objectives from the question, 5 lines. It's given multiple objectives. It's given in the question. Where are they? Here it is. To give prompt access to high quality medical treatment for patients, to provide free treatment to poor patients in line with government's policy of inclusive development, to provide value for money for the taxpayer measured by 3 E's, that is economy, efficiency, and effectiveness, to contribute to medical science by developing innovative ways to deliver treatment to patients. These 4 points you got to put it over here. You got it? Next. So non-financial measures provides better info on how each of these objectives have been met. Simple sentence. So all the objectives that you copy paste from the question, that is these objectives, if you have non-financial performance measurement systems in place, that will give you a better idea of how did you really give high quality medical treatment for patients. I can get answer for that question only if I go for non-financial performance measurement system rather than number based system. That is financial, that is quantitative based systems. Got it? Anyway, right, so that's the answer for the first part of the question. You may think that, sir, it's quite a bit big answer. Yes, it is. You can just simplify. In fact, I've already simplified when compared to the answer that has been given by your ICA, because that's why we call it as power notes. But then this is for how many marks? As you know, 4 marks. Got the point, guys? It's for 4 marks. Yep. You can cut short it further, but then, those are all the points that eventually you have to write. Now, let's go for the second part of the question. What is the second part? Evaluate whether Cure Hospital is delivering value for money for each of the components of the value for money framework. Mhm. So, in any not for profit organization, if at all we need to measure the performance of them, we need 3 E's. We know that already. Let's go. The concept that we already know. So, value for money component would comprise of 3 E's: economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. Is it something new? No. Silver's Hands case study we have already done. That is beach cleaning operations. One more case study also we have done based on 3 E's in your performance measurement and evaluation chapter. Yes, it's nothing new. So, in fact, we have done even more difficult questions, to be very honest. Let's start with the first one: economy. What is economy, first of all? Sir, okay, 3 E's are used to measure the performance in a not for profit organization or to decide whether the value for money has happened or not. So, in that, the first E is economy. What is the concept of economy? Economy means what is that we have to think? What is that we have to understand? Here you have: is desired output has been achieved of service at lowest cost possible or not? Economy, the term itself tells you. Are you able to understand? So, whatever the output, here the quality of service we are talking about, because it's a hospital, is it achieved at the lowest cost possible or not? Answer is yes, then what you have done is economical. Answer is no, then what you have done is not economical. How to assess this? See. Okay, let's talk about the doctors. 8076, that is there in the question only, na? You have number of doctors. Cure Hospital has got 80. When it comes to national average of PPP run hospitals is just 76. You have got 4 more doctors, right? Doctor salaries, it's just 1,20,000 inclusive of the overtime. Of course, you're not paying anything for overtime. Where is the question of inclusive? Because you don't pay anything literally. Whereas the national average is 1,60,000. And also, if you compare the budget, it is 1,25,000. So, therefore, low salary could be due to inexperience also. So, always don't come to a conclusion that they are giving low salaries. They're not paying for overtime. Therefore, the inefficiency will creep in. Are you able to understand? Or they're wantedly paying low. So, this is one angle. It's correct to think that particular perspective as well. I mean, from that particular perspective. But there is another perspective as well. What's that? Low salary could be due to inexperience as well. Sounds logical. Sounds logical, right? This may be one of the reasons for low staff satisfaction. That is, you have 16% versus national average of 86%. Here you have got, where is it here? Yeah, average staff satisfaction ratings, whereas 16% is very low for this particular hospital when compared to 86%, which means your staff, that is doctors, are not at all happy. Why? Because you are paying them low salary. Are you able to understand? Now, this is one angle. Other angle is you're paying low salary because they might be inexperienced. In that case, you are justified. Then you can ask me, in that case, if you are justified, then why are they complaining that the salaries are low? Why are they giving low staff satisfaction? Maybe there could be another reason. Maybe they are not giving respect. Or you will understand. Maybe they're not giving that value that they should have been given. So we don't know, right? See, all these are possibilities. That's what makes the subject very, very, very challenging, very, very, very difficult because all the permutations and combination I have to think. So don't think that is just some other subject where Ratta Maro Jindabad. It doesn't work that way. Got this? Right. So therefore, economy of money is being achieved at CH. Why? Because your cost is 1,20,000 is less than what? 1,60,000. That is national average. And therefore, obviously, economy is achieved or not? Yes, I've done it at lowest cost possible. If I've done it at lowest cost possible, is it economical? Yes. So one of the value for money objectives is achieved, which is 1E. What is that? Economy. Got it? Let's go to the next one. So what is the next one we have? Efficiency. What is the concept? The concept is this: has maximum output been achieved with minimum resources? Here we are talking about cost. Here we are talking about resources. That can be anything: doctors, stuff, time of the doctors, anything it can be. Okay, now, so here one thing that you need to understand is treating patients is your objective because that's the service that you're providing, basically, treatment given to patients. And who is the resource for it? Doctors. Here we are talking about minimum resources. That is the concept now. So output is giving quality service, that is treating the patients. That is the service that you're providing. And has it been achieved with minimum resources means the resources are doctors. So did you give effective treatment, that is effective treatment quality service with minimum doctors possible or not, is the concept of efficiency in this particular case study. Did you understand? Clear? Now, so number of patients treated per year is a good measure of efficiency achieved, correct? So if per doctor, if he treats more number of patients, which means you are having minimum doctors for maximum patients, which means minimum resources for maximum output. Got it? Fantastic. Now see here. So Cure Hospital and national average. As you can see, this is in-house patients and outpatients total number put together 84,572 versus national average is just 69,687. And you've got just 4 doctors. Okay, more. You've got 4 doctors more. You've got 80 when it comes to your hospital, whereas the national average is 76. That's fine. But you look at the patients per doctor, 1,057 per doctor versus the national average, which is only 917 per doctor, which means the efficiency is good, which means this efficiency objective has been achieved. Are you able to understand? Of course, you have got the side effects over here. The employee morale is very low. Why? On one side, you are paying less salaries. On the other side, you are asking them to treat more patients. So work is more, pay is less. My morale will be obviously be less. And because I've got few doctors for more number of patients, because one doctor has to treat 1057 patients versus 917, which is the national average, then obviously I will ask my patients to wait for some more time. So therefore the waiting time of the patient will be high. Got it? Chalo, fantastic. Now coming on to the last part. What is the last part here? Effectiveness. Third E. What is the concept? This is the concept. Chalo, idhar dekh. What is the concept? Kya re, idhar dekh. Has Cure Hospital has achieved its mission or objective? See, effectiveness means, please try to understand, no matter how much money you have spent, no matter how much resources you have used, so no matter what is the economical part, no matter what is the efficiency part, ultimately, all these things you are doing for an objective. Has the objective been achieved or not is the only question. Whether you have achieved it in a costlier way or whether you have achieved it by using more resources doesn't matter. Did you achieve it or not? Yes, I have achieved it means yes, it has been effective. Did you do it with less number of resources? Yes, then it is effective and efficient. Did you do it with less number of resources at lesser cost? Then it is effective, efficient, and economical. Got the point? Yes? Fantastic. Right. Now, so that is better quality of service is one of its objective. That is the ultimate output, right? So it will ensure that the readmission is minimal, obviously, whereas Look at the readmitted patients. This we have discussed when we have read the question itself. At the time only I told you that more number of patients are readmitted for the same health problem, then it means your treatment has been pathetic. So here it is 627, whereas here it is only 128, which means in your hospital 627 is what the people are getting readmitted, whereas national average is what? 128. So you can just write a general sentence here. I've put dots here and I've written general sentence. What does it mean? It means just explain it. I'll show you in the question. Yeah. Number of patients readmitted for treatment of the same ailment within a short period of time after discharge from the hospital with respect to cure hospital continuation is 627, whereas the national average is very less, that is at 128. From this, we can say that the treatment has been pretty bad. And then you can continue the same, assuming all the patients are in house. You got it? So therefore, if you convert that into percentage, 7.5% and 2% over here, which is pretty bad from Cure Hospital's perspective. So prompt medical treatment is also not available as waiting time for patients is also very high. So therefore, all these things, which means the economical perspective, uh, the efficiency perspective, and the effectiveness perspective, everything put together would have resulted in dissatisfaction among the patients because for your hospital it is 6, whereas the national average being 9. That is also there in the question. Here, where did it go? Just a second, guys. Yeah. Yeah. See here, average satisfaction rating of inpatients, it is 6 for your hospital, whereas the national average is a lot higher. You got it. So this is one of the reasons. What is the reason? Because as you can see, the number of patients readmitted for the same ailment is very high, and the proper medical treatment is not available. And of course, as you can see in the question, one customer has complained. Where is that? Yeah, here. Incompetent paramedic staff, poor quality of food and bed linen. Therefore, their customer satisfaction rating will obviously be less. Obviously be less. You got the point? So all this would have resulted in dissatisfaction among the patients, and therefore that is being shown in the rating obviously. So this shows that objective of this particular hospital, that is Cure Hospital, is not being met. That's very much obvious because it is very much visible. Correct? So obviously fantastic. Got it? So that is the answer for second part of the question. Now coming on to the last part of the question, guys. So what is the last part of the question that he has asked? Let's see. Okay. The CEO of the hospital intends to introduce a nominal fee for outpatient treatment given to poor patients and remove subsidized rate of CT scan and MRI diagnostic for other patients in order to achieve its objectives in a better way. Evaluate the proposal of the CEO. Right. So let's have a look into that. It's for 4 marks. So see here. What is the new proposal? Repeat the proposal sentence from the question. Don't write this in the examination. So I hope you have understood the concept because that's the concept of power notes, right? We wanted to keep it what? Yeah. We want to keep it what? Concise, right? So only way we can revise it little faster and it will be easy for us to write the same answer in the exam as well. Anyway, so repeat the proposal sentence from the question. So let's repeat it. What is the proposal? The CEO of the hospital intends to introduce a nominal fee for outpatient treatment given to poor patients and remove subsidized rate of CT scan and MRI diagnostics for other patients in order to achieve its objectives in a better way. This is the sentence copy paste you will do. Done with your copy pasting? Then again, write about the hospital. See, you can ask me, sir, why these 2 points I have to write? Use your common sense here. First of all, he's asking you to evaluate the new proposal. So, first of all, if you want to evaluate the proposal, write the proposal first. Where do I write the proposal? Copy paste from the question. Second, now I need to evaluate the proposal. So, I've written the proposal. Now I need to say whether this proposal is fine or not, whether it goes in line with the objectives of the company or not. In that case, I need to write objectives of the company, na, which means this Cure Hospital. In that case, I need to write what the Cure Hospital is all about. Yes or what? Therefore, I'm writing what is Cure Hospital. Cure Hospital is a not-for-profit organization. Blah blah blah. From question once again. So here you have got. अरे यार ठीक है yeah, right, okay, right, guys, here you've got, just write these objectives and you can write these things also. It's a running PPP model providing treatment for non-communicable diseases. That's from these first 4 paragraphs you can write anything, but you try to explain that the objectives of Cure Hospital is so and so from the question itself. If you can write these 4 objectives, it's better. These 4 points, 1 2 3 4. It will come as 8 to 10 lines. Don't worry. Got the point. Right. Anyway, so now let's go for the evaluation. So look at the keywords. First thing is you apply for higher budget allocation from the government. You can ask me, in what way this sentence is related to the situation over here? It's very much related here because what is the reason behind the proposal? What was the proposal, first of all? This guy wanted to charge money, correct? Arey, where is he? Just a second. Yeah. He wants to introduce a nominal fee. Why would anybody introduce a nominal fee? Only for the sake of money, right? Why would anybody wants money? Because the funds are not that much available. So you need something to spend, you don't have money for that, right? And therefore you're trying to introduce nominal fee. In that case, what could be the probable solution? Get the money. So how to get the money? Who is giving you money? State government is giving me the money in the form of fixed budget. Try to increase the budget. Then your problem is solved, which means there is no need to charge a nominal fee from the below poverty line or economically weaker sections, which means the objectives of your hospital is being met, where your objective is to provide free quality treatment to all the economically weaker sections of the society. Correct? Simple, right? Next. So this helps good salaries to doctors. So staff satisfaction rating will increase. Thereby they will give good treatment. Thereby there will be less readmissions. Thereby you're utilizing better resources, the money, because you're paying that to doctors only, na? That will lead to better quality of service, and objective of your company, that is Cure Hospitals, will be achieved. Okay. So this CODation is very short sighted. It is very much in the short term, not in the long run, and does not or is not in line with the overall objectives of your hospital or the company. Of course, that is Cure Hospital. You got the point? PPP. Got it? Fantastic. Chalo. Right, guys. So now you need to copy this. Copy, guys. You've got 5 minutes. Right, next page. So UP means universal points, very important, Nana, which means you can use these points in some other case studies as well. That's why it's very important. So mark it down. Done. Next. So if you want me to erase, I'll erase. So copy it better. Okay. Right? Copy, guys. It's better to copy, guys, even if you have soft copy, for example. So I would rather advise you guys to copy only, because unless you copy, you won't remember. Keep that in mind. The most important part is not studying here, it's to remember and take it into the examination hall. That's what will make you pass, not just reading it once, twice, and all. Once you have copied, you tell me, Nana. I'll try to change the screen. Done with copying. So let's move on to the next one. Next page. Done. Next. Copy the same way that I've written, okay? Don't change it. It should be exactly the same. All the dots and everything, all the shortcuts. Done with copying? Next. Copy, Nana. Done with copying this part? Next. Copied, guys. Next. Next, guys. Covered, guys. Next, efficiency part. Covered, guys. Next. Copy, guys. Copy fast. Done? We'll move on to the last part. Next, the last page, Nana. So these two you got to copy. It will be done. Copied this. Last one. Finish it off. Just a second. Yeah. Copy that, Nana. We'll finish off the session. See, if the time is not sufficient for you to copy, you can just pause the video and then copy. That's the better way of doing things, because all the students, they don't copy with the same pace, right? So that's the point. Done with your copying, guys? Chalo. Let's wind up the session here.